Peace and joy.
Back with another episode, Drumhiller Farms. And we're out here today trying to terminate this pasture with this cattle as hard as we can. We got some moisture coming tomorrow, and we want to plant a multi-species annual into this perennial pasture, and we're trying to work them over this pretty hard. We strip grazed it for 2 days, and then I went ahead and just opened it up for this next 12 hours, seeing if they'll go around and clean some of this up. I actually thought that they would do a little bit better on it the way we strip grazed it, but I don't know if I should have tightened them up maybe a little bit more. But there's areas, you know, there's just right down to this thatch layer that's pretty deep, so it's moist down there and it's cool. I mean, I can feel the temperature difference and the moisture in that thatch. So I think we're gonna get some good growth out of that multi-species annual mix. But they are cleaning this up, so I'm just gonna let them keep doing what they're doing. We come out here to check on them just to make sure we weren't pushing them too hard, and everybody looks full. And they're up grazing again, so I think we're good to go here. We double stranded this just simply because we were gonna push them a little hard and thought, well, and let's just go ahead and double strand it. Number 304. They all look like that. That's what we're going for. This heifer had to come in here. But she's... Look at that guy. Wow. Somebody's gonna be lucky when they get him on their dinner plate, because this guy's gonna make some great finished 100% grass-fed, grass-finished beef. He's got about another 2 months that we're gonna run him before he goes in. But man, great looking steer. See, this stuff's really taken off nicely. It's competing very hard with the perennial pasture wherever it's a little thicker stand, but it's in there, right? You can see it, it's in there. And so we're really excited to see what's going to happen here. We really bale grazed this field hard, trying to terminate as much of the grass as we could. And I think it's going to be a successful stand. We'll just see. It might not be as thick as we'd really like it, but you know, like I said, it's in there. It's just kind of competing here. I'm hoping with this hot weather coming, because it is a warm season mix, that this is gonna shoot right up and kind of overtake that grass. Here's what it looked like when we planted it. How's it doing down there with it being wet?
Well, I had to go around that hole down there, and it's a little too muddy and everything else, mind you.
Yeah. Was able to go around it, or what'd you happen to it? I mean,
well, I had to lift up on her and get her up out of the muck, you know, so I didn't get stuck, and I had to go around the whole thing.
Okay. So take a look at this. This is another area where we planted some multi-species annuals into a perennial pasture. And this is an area that was bale grazed. So look how just dark green that is. So this was hit hard with manure, and but the rest of the field, you can actually see there's more of that stuff everywhere in here. I made a path through here and I could just see it everywhere. I'll go back up here where I could really. So there's a bunch of it. You can see this is like a pea. I think it's a winter pea or something. So it's here. Some of that real broadleaf stuff I think was really too much competition with the pasture. But this stuff that could get some height on it, looks like that stuff grew really well. A little bit drier out in the field, so we're gonna put this seed a little bit deeper in the ground to hit a little more moisture. So we gotta adjust the drill, and that adjustment's by this front tire right here. This is how you adjust that. All right, just hold up a minute. So for some reason, after I adjusted this chain loosened right up. So I gotta look at that. Huh. Seems to be tighter. I don't know. So I got this from Byron Seed. This is a mimic of a Ray's Crazy Mix, summer mix. I don't know if you can see that. And I got this through Byron, and they actually custom made that for me. It's nothing they stocked or carried, but they did take care of me on it. So you're gonna have a little bit more in there than I thought, huh? Probably. Well, put it in heavy then. You know what I mean? If you still have some left after everything that we said, go back over it again. You know what I mean? So it turns out I probably had a little more seed than what I thought. I probably could have got another acre, honestly, probably another acre or 3/4 of an acre. But at any rate, it's going into something moist. Look at all that seed right in the pad. Well, I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I think in areas like this, I mean, he's actually chopping some of that grass that's left and just kind of creating a mulch right over the ground. You can see this area, the pasture that we kind of hit a little bit harder. Kind of wish it all looked like this, but I would have to think we're going to get great. If we get a little bit of rain, we're going to be good to go. They're all going, whoa, what are you doing over there? Man, look at them. They're just slicked right off. They're looking good. Look at her. Her brisket's just about dragging on the ground. All right, it's been a couple weeks and we have gotten the hot weather like they said we were going to get. We got a couple good little rains and some more supposedly coming this weekend. You can see the difference from the beginning of the video. This is where that goofball was planting this thing, or this cover in here, and you can see it's really starting to pop up and still heavily competing with this perennial pasture. And I wish we would have terminated it a little bit harder, but you know, everything's a learning experience, so that's really what we're trying to do. But I wanted to, this has been a few days, actually it's probably been a few weeks since the start of this video, which I know is a little bit goofy, but I wanted to put something together to show what we were doing. This is the result. This hot weather and a little bit of rain has brought some of this stuff just coming up really nice. This stuff's supposed to be about 8 to 10 foot when you come in here and graze it. So I don't know if we'll make it that far, just simply because it is heavily competing with everything else. But I mean, it's definitely in there. So like I said, it's been a couple weeks since the start of the video, and honestly that's why I've waited to finish this video. But you can see how everything's coming up real nice in here. All of this is the multi-specie annual that we planted, and I mean, it is not competing with the perennial pasture at this point, and it's coming up very nicely. I think we stunted this pasture just long enough to allow that stuff to come up and get a really good start before it had to compete with all the other grasses around it. So if you remember from the start of the video, this is where the cattle were just really grazing this down, trying to kind of terminate this pasture as well as we could. And I think we're going to have a very successful stand. I mean, here's another spot. It's really good. It's everywhere. And I know right where that paddy was, somewhere over here. So I'm gonna look and see right here. It might not be the same paddy at the beginning of the video, but you can see where it was planted right into, and it is looking real nice. So hopefully we get this shot of rain like they're talking this weekend, and if we do, it's really going to make the difference for us. We've had 100-degree temperatures, 90s, high 80s. Couple days have poked into the 100-degree range, so it's hot, it's dry. It's so dry it's hard to get the posts in the ground when you're putting up fences, but you know, this is the way we normally leave something. So you can see when you're leaving an armor over the soil, that dry temperature doesn't affect you as much as if you took it right down.
Peace and joy.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and God bless.